Hello, I'm going to be talking about mitosis today and all of the steps. My name is Dawon Smith. I'm getting ready for my presentation. Okay, the first thing you should know about mitosis is it's really important that every cell undergoes mitosis. It is the building blocks of life. Without mitosis, cells won't be able to duplicate themselves, regenerate. One will not be able to heal itself after getting hurt, or even the organisms will not be able to grow. Okay, mitosis is necessary to maintain life, and it's the process where cell divides and replicates once again. All right, this is one of the first phases, which is called interphase. It has 3 steps. First step, G1, also known as gap 1. This is where the cell begins to grow and the organelles start to move away from each other. Second step, S phase, also known as synthesis phase, where each cell starts to divide and begin to duplicate itself. Last one, G2, also known as gap 2 phase. Okay, during this stage, the cell becomes bigger and the mRNA are created within the cell and the centrioles are duplicated. It's step 1. Going on to step 2, also known as prophase. The noodle-like structures known as chromatins shrink and coil up like little springs. And the chromatin pair together each and create chromosomes within the cell. The chromatin are created together by the centrioles, and they're held together and they create these X-like structures known as chromatin. The next step is when the spindle fibers create themselves on each side of the cell, right at the top right here. These little spindle fibers right here, these long strings. And that's prophase. Second phase is metaphase, which is the third phase, but it's also known as the middle phase. The chromosomes line up in the middle and they create the metaphase plate. The metaphase plate is this little imaginary line. You can see this during the mitosis stage. It's a little line called the metaphase plate. The spindle fibers connect directly at the centromere with great accuracy. They have to connect right at the middle so they can pull each other apart for the next phase. Okay, next phase, pronounced anaphase. Okay, during this one, the chromatins separate directly at the centromere and move towards each side of the cell. So there's 2 forces going on right here to pull these things apart. The spindle fibers pull this way so they can pull the chromatin towards the other side of the cell, and the chromatin are also pushing against each other. This is how they both move to each side of the cell very quickly. Telophase. Okay, this is almost the last one. Once the spindle fibers successfully move the chromosomes to each opposite side of the cell, 2 new cells begin to form. A new membrane is formed right around the 2 new cells so they can protect the organelles with its inside. So you see it right here? The 2 cells are almost snapped together before they snap. A new membrane is held together so they can hold these organelles within so they don't escape or anything goes inside on both sides. Okay, last one, known as cytokinesis, which is the stage where the 2 cells split. The 2 cells completely split apart from each other, creating 2 identical cells. They undergo mitosis once again, and the process will repeat itself over and over again. This is very important so you can heal during inflammation. If anything happens, happens to a cell, if they die, it can replicate itself. This is how we stay alive. 2 things about mitosis. Neurons do not undergo mitosis. They undergo mitosis once. After that, they cannot replicate themselves. And liver cells are a bit different, but they have, if the liver is damaged, then they will need to go under mitosis and repair itself. Or if a piece of the liver is taken away, it will replace itself with the union cells or something. And a great way to remember these steps is to learn an acronym called PMAT. So it's P-M-A-T, PMAT. So it's prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. All right, thank you.